Hi, my name is Megan Scales, and I did my formal report on AT&T. AT&T Corporation, formerly known as the American Telephone and Telegraph Company, is currently the largest provider of long-distance and other telecommunications services in the United States. The company has had a long and storied history with roots stretching back to 1875 when Alexander Graham Bell invented the telephone. AT&T became the parent company of the entire Bell system during the 19th century. The company was in desperate need of large amounts of equipment, so in 1881 it acquired Western Electric Manufacturing Company, the main telegraph supplier of Western Union, to become its exclusive manufacturer. On March 3, 1885, AT&T became the first to construct, finance, and operate a national telephone network. At that time, the American telephone system consisted primarily of a series of unconnected local networks, so AT&T began constructing its first line connecting New York City and Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Bell's original telephone patent expired in 1893, and over the next 10 years, more than 6,000 independent phone companies emerged into business in the United States. These companies were most successful in the West and Midwest, where Bell did not provide service. These companies were operating 51% of telephones in the United States. Fighting back, AT&T's first and most effective move was to cut rates. Other tactics used were buying out these independents and retaining its monopoly over long-distance services. The company also raised capital by selling discounted bonds and making improvements in its research and development activities. In 1915, Alexander Graham Bell, along with his former collaborator Thomas Watson, established the first transcontinental line linking New York City and San Francisco, California. During the 20th century, AT&T was responsible for most of the major technical advances made in telephone service, switching systems, and signal transmissions. However, AT&T, having built most of the United States phone systems, was frequently accused of suppressing competition through unfair trade practices. In 1974, the United States filed an antitrust suit against AT&T for the dismemberment of the Bell system. After years of litigation, in 1984, AT&T broke into one long-distance company, remaining as AT&T Corporation, and 7 regional Bell operating companies, or RBOCs, by a consent decree from the United States Federal Court. AT&T began to revise its corporate strategies in the 1990s, focusing on providing communication solutions for large and small customers. Among these solutions include long-distance, wireless, satellite TV, and credit card services. In 1996, Congress enacted the Telecommunications Competition and Deregulation Act, which replaced all current laws, FCC regulations, and the 1984 decree. Its main purpose was to open local markets to competition. AT&T spun off AT&T Wireless, a producer of mobile phones and provider of wireless phone services, as an independent company in 2001. AT&T Broadband, which provided cable television service, internet access, and other high-speed communications, was spun off a year later. In 2004, Singular Wireless acquired AT&T Wireless, and the combined companies came to be known as AT&T Mobility by 2007. Today, AT&T is a global networking leader, reaching every major country and metropolitan area through its subsidiaries and associates. It has recently focused on restructuring into separate consumer, business, broadband, and wireless operations. Currently, AT&T has engaged its suppliers in using new methods of reducing energy consumption and cost while still providing performance, quality, and features to its customers. AT&T believes its expertise in networking, internet protocol, and e-commerce services will provide a stable foundation for future growth.